Imagine a man who, with a single stroke, transformed the history of an entire civilization. A man who was feared, hated, and worshipped. His name was Qin Shi Huang, the first emperor of China, the founder of an empire that has endured in one form or another for over 2,000 years. 259 BC. A boy named Ying Zheng is born in the kingdom of Qin. He grows up in a world where 7 kingdoms are constantly destroying one another. Bloodshed and war are the norm. At 13, he becomes the ruler of Qin. At 21, he seizes absolute power and launches a bloody campaign. Over the course of a decade, he conquers one kingdom after another. His army is invincible, his strategy ruthless. In 221 BC, the last enemy falls. Ying Zheng proclaims himself Qin Shi Huang, the first emperor. He did not merely unify China, he completely rebuilt it. A unified writing system, unified laws, a single currency, standardized weights and measures, and even a uniform axle width for carts. He ordered the burning of all books that did not align with his ideology. Thousands of scrolls were reduced to ash. Hundreds of scholars were buried alive for criticizing the emperor. Fear became his primary tool of governance. Yet it was under his rule that construction began on the Great Wall of China, the most magnificent structure of the ancient world. Millions of people perished during its construction. The wall was intended to protect the empire from northern nomads. Qin Shi Huang was obsessed with the idea of immortality. He sought the elixir of life, dispatched expeditions across the ocean, and built vast palaces. He created a massive network of roads and canals linking the entire sprawling nation. His army was the most advanced and disciplined of its time. Iron weaponry, a strict hierarchy, an iron will. Yet, beneath the empire's splendor lay sheer terror. Laws were so draconian that entire families were executed for minor infractions. In 210 BC, while on an inspection tour, the first emperor died suddenly at the age of 49. His death was kept secret for months. His body was transported to the capital in a cart filled with rotting fish to mask the stench of decomposition. An entire army, 8,000 terracotta warriors, was buried alongside him in a colossal underground tomb. Each warrior is unique. No two faces are alike. They were meant to guard the emperor in the afterlife. The Qin dynasty collapsed just 3 years after his death. The people could no longer endure the brutality. Yet, Qin Shi Huang had already achieved the most important feat. He created a model of a unified China that would endure for centuries. His administrative system, bureaucracy, and centralized rule laid the foundation for all subsequent dynasties. The Great Wall as we know it today is largely based on his original design. The terracotta army stands as one of the most astounding archaeological wonders in human history. Qin Shi Huang sought eternal rule. He did not achieve immortality in life, but he attained it in history. He was at once a genius and a tyrant, a creator and a destroyer. A man who feared death above all else and tried to cheat it by any means possible. His life is a story about the price of absolute power, about how a single individual can alter the destiny of an entire civilization. Today, as we gaze upon the Great Wall and the terracotta warriors, we grasp the sheer scale of his ambition. He wanted his empire to endure for 10,000 generations. Although the Qin dynasty collapsed quickly, The idea of a unified China that he established endured for millennia. Every subsequent dynasty, Han, Tang, Song, and Ming, adopted his system of governance, his bureaucracy, and his approach to centralization. He laid the foundation upon which modern China stands. The Great Wall we see today is largely built upon his vision. The terracotta army stands as a silent witness to his indomitable will and his fear of death. 8,000 unique warriors, each with a distinct face, have stood in battle formation for over 2,000 years. They were waiting for their emperor, and in a sense, they are still waiting. Qin Shi Huang feared death more than anything else. He sought the elixir of immortality, consumed mercury, and dispatched ships beyond the horizon. Yet, ultimately, he attained immortality in a completely different way, through history. Today, his name is known worldwide. Films are made about him, books are written, and games are created. He became a symbol of absolute power, of both its light and dark sides. A genius and a tyrant rolled into one. A man prepared to destroy the past in order to build the future. His story is an eternal lesson on the price of greatness.
On the fact that even the most powerful ruler cannot cheat time, but one can leave a mark that won't be erased for millennia. Qin Shi Huang didn't just rule China, he created it anew. From fragmented kingdoms, he forged a unified civilization that changed the entire world. His legacy lives on today in the system of governance, in the culture, and in the very concept of China. He sought immortality, and he achieved it, not in the flesh, but in the memory of humanity. Qin Shi Huang was the fire that consumed the old world and gave birth to the new, a fire that still burns in the hearts of those who study history. He was ruthless, he was great, he was the first, and that is precisely why his name will never be forgotten. Thank you for joining me on this journey through the fire and grandeur of ancient China. If this video resonated with you, please hit the like button. It's the best way to show your support. Subscribe so you don't miss out on more powerful stories. Let me know in the comments, who should I cover next? Qin Shi Huang, the man who wanted to become a god. And in a sense, he did. His shadow still falls across the Great Wall. His army still stands in formation, and his story continues to both inspire and terrify. That was Qin Shi Huang, the first, the great, the immortal. Until next time, friends, stay strong and ambitious.